Welcome to Modern Art Blitz. I'm your host, Matt Gleason. My guest, Frohawk Twofeathers. How you doing, man?
I'm great, man. How are you?
Very good. How'd you come up with the name?
Frohawk Twofeathers. It's a lot of different stories, but basically it was how I started my whole art process. I was just trying to, look for some identity, like I was having some identity issues.
Did the muse just gave you the name?
No. When I moved to, I moved to Lincoln Heights, and I was like sitting at the bottom of a hill, and I saw this hawk, like this red-tailed hawk, and I was like, I'll be now known as Frohawk Twofeathers. But I'm weird like that.
Hey, right on.
So,
well, speaking of weird, look, okay, no. So tell me, what are we looking at here?
Oh man, I forgot the name of this painting. This painting.
How big is this painting?
I believe it's 60 by 40.
Acrylic?
It is acrylic. It is acrylic. And I made this. This was I know what the name of this painting is called, and the reason why I didn't know it is because it's a name of an old painting. It's Un dimanche après-midi.
Okay.
Like Sunday afternoon on the island.
On the island with George.
Yeah. So this is but this was I made this for a show in Governor's Island that was curated by Katie Fuller and a bunch of great artists. Curtis Talwes, Santiago Canupa Hansaka, I think I'm brutalizing his name, Silver Jackson. It was great. And the show was in Governor's Island. So I made, I do alternative history.
Okay.
Exactly. And so I created my own story about, that painting, juxtaposing that painting on to this historical meeting of people on Governor's Island.
Okay. So instead of Sunday in the park, you've got a Sunday in the park.
No, it's Sunday in the park.
Completely different population.
And an assassination. We got an assassination in the middle there.
In the middle, who's getting assassinated?
The King and Queen of Harlem. See, they're holding a little thing that says "A Free Harlem."
Oh, okay.
And
wow.
Sans Etoile, like no stars. Hip hop, you don't stop. The two snakes, Apophis and Dumbala, floating in the sparkly sea.
So you've got this, and this is the theme that runs throughout your art that you pretty much have pioneered. You're giving us a fantasy world that could have been totally realistic, had not the Holocaust of colonialism happened.
Yes, exactly. It's like Black Game of Thrones.
Black Game of Thrones.
Like if Game of Thrones is like the blackest. No.
Oh man.
No. But really, it's like it's
a hat.
Oh man! I gotta get the hat back. I got it.
Okay.
That's what happens when you try.
It's got a strap. You could be strapped in.
No, but that's the thing. Like I'm trying to work on the hair right now.
Well. Janet Jackson, you're not the only one with a Sunday afternoon wardrobe malfunction.
That's true. Oh yeah, Janet Jackson's playing at the Bowl tonight, right?
Are you serious?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I did not know.
Wow, psychic, dude.
My days dating the Jacksons are over. So, hey, so what are we looking at here?
So this is La Mort de Hannibal. So Hannibal is the guy who's on his knees, taking a serious L to the back, like a laser. That's a new bad name. Anyway,
there you go.
So basically, this was this particular piece I made. Ooh, this is an old one. I think this is like 2014. I was kind of trying to wrap up my
ancient history.
Yeah, but like every show that I do basically marks a chapter of the story that I'm writing. So every time I do a show, it's like this is the story for this time, and then. Oh, I'm here. So I spent a lot of time in New England. I did a show in upstate New York at the Wellen Museum. I did the Wadsworth Athenaeum in Hartford, Connecticut.
Wow.
I did a show with my former gallery, Morgan Lehman. I did a show at the Visual Arts Center in New Jersey in Summit. And so I was just, boom.
Show.
Boom. And for that, I was like within a 2 to 3 year period. And so I finally finished. This was right before. This is from a show called Heartbreaking and Shit, but that's the Globe.
Heartbreaking and Shit,
but that's the Globe. Heartbreaking and Shit, but that's the globe. So it's basically, it's actually
That's life, baby.
but it's a line from my rap partner, Michael James's, one of his songs, and it's like
So you
heartbreaking
also
shit.
rap in addition to making
I rap. That's where I first started out. I first started out rapping,
Wow.
actually, and then I went into photography. Well, I went to film, and I didn't pass any classes, and then I went into photography, and then I moved to LA, and everything had switched to digital. So I
drawing and painting.
Yeah, so I was like, man, I could draw. I mean, I can write, and I can illustrate my thoughts. And but a lot of people helped me out along the way. I mean, had an Argentine like kind of guy who was teaching me how to, the basics of painting and all this stuff. And then I just kind of just took to it, and I learned it. My good buddy Ricardo Martins, if you're out there, brother, if you're watching this,
shout out.
I love you, man.
Hey,
shout out.
I took the liberty of combining two of your drawings for our background here. Do you know who are we looking at?
Okay, so technically, Michael Hernandez was on the show.
Oh yeah, artist Michael Hernandez.
Yeah, so he was on the show not so long ago, and that's Scott Zaragoza, who's also he's an amazing.
So these are portraits of your friends.
Yeah, so basically I populate my universe with people, I try to populate with my friends first, and then people that I just meet and I'm like, like David Bowie and Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, when he looked at Ryuichi Sakamoto and it was that scene where it was like, I love you, man. I love you so much. Stop hitting you with this cane because I love you. I think like David Bowie died of like tuberculosis or consumption or so, I don't know, maybe he got beaten to death. But anyway, that's not the point. But these two guys, this is from a show that I did with Marcia Goldberg over at
New Image Art. Oh, hey Marcia, how you doing?
So hey Marcia, shout out to you as well. I've had the utmost pleasure of working with some really daring people during the course of my
I would think
storied career.
A gallerist would have to be a little daring to
apprehensive to work with me.
Well,
yeah. I mean, they know the painting's going to come the day before the show opens. They're going to be wet. They're going to be
nothing's ready.
They're going to dry up. But that's what That's why I love California. It just
are these ink? Are these?
Oh, so this is ink and acrylic and ink. So I do the drawings first on paper, and the paper is treated with tea and coffee. So I use colonial commodities to stain the tea. I mean, stain the actual
the stain of
artwork
colonialism.
Itself. Is stain of colonialism.
Yeah.
And tea is still a big thing. You gotta pick tea by your hand.
They don't have a machine for it anymore.
That go out there. Well, I mean, they probably could, but it's good. Like everybody has a job that way. If America actually thought about that, thought about our citizens in a similar fashion, I think there'll be more jobs. I mean, maybe people wouldn't want to do it, but
they'd be shitty jobs.
That'd be shitty jobs. Maybe they could be high paid. You could be a high paid like green tea picker.
Well, the green tea gets paid a lot more than the chamomile tea.
Or
right?
orange pekoe, some Lipton.
Yeah.
That's good. It's always good. My aunt used to.
That's a union job.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a logo.
They're going to unionize Lipton. Oh boy.
They have a logo.
We brought a lot of your art here today.
Let's keep
looking at the images because again, it's fantasy only in the fact that you're painting a realism of what might have happened. Where history shifted here, there, a few little things.
Exactly. It's like the butterfly effect of history. And so basically what I did is everything prior to the English Civil War and the death of Oliver Cromwell, that already took place. I don't change that. I don't change that at all. And so that's why, there is slavery, because if I would have taken it back, I could have taken it back and changed it to where there was no slavery or no any of this and, all the bad things never happened. But I want to talk about these things and talk about these painful things, especially in America. Like when I go to Europe, like people automatically get what I'm saying because they know they messed up, for lack of a better word. They know they fucked up.
They know they
fucked up. But, America is like, it's kind of like a
still in denial.
A little denial. I mean,
I didn't have anything to do with it. I didn't personally have anything to do with it. Yeah.
You had, man. I want my reparations check
at
the end of this.
All right, okay.
Yeah, I need you to make that out to cash, though.
Cash.
Like Wells Fargo, man.
Okay.
See, we can talk about a lot of things. We can talk about reparations and art.
Is this paper?
This is also paper, yes.
How are we going to institute reparations? Well, just in the art world, that would be tough, right?
Well, no. Actually, right now, it's good to be a black artist. It's like every gallery needs to have like a black artist.
I think you know, it's pretty trendy.
Yeah, it's like, oh man,
trendy.
like, are you black? Do you make art? Like, yeah, man, let's sign you up to the roster.
So you check the roster.
Hey, it's sad, but it's true.
And if you only have one, it's a token, so you need me because it's two,
like,
right?
Hey, man, like I would just, like tokenization is
right.
Yeah, it's tokenization.
Ride the horse that gets you to the finish line, man.
Man, what's my name?
So, and what's going on in this one?
So basically, this is like, okay, so you take your average colonial portrait of some sort of scene, and right now, I mean, I started off doing portraits, and I started doing like my work that is kind of taken from Native American ledger drawings, and also cave paintings and things like that. And so I'm trying to I was trying to morph it more into like, actually, let's take it back a step. When I did the show at the Hudson River Museum, I did a show with the Hudson River painters.
The historic stuff.
The historic stuff, and they exhibited it alongside with my exhibition. And so when I saw that, I was like, wow, I can take this like idyllic landscape that's kind of like sparsely painted, because a lot of the stuff is like slightly unfinished. And so basically I was like, what if I put like a standard like hood scene, like, if you just won a battle, like what would you do? Like, so you're just hanging out, so you got these Hawaiian guys in the front, and then you got to read the story. I write stories for everything too, and so no one would actually ever really understand what it is that I'm saying because they can't read.
But the work stands on its own. They're interesting paintings.
It does, but a lot of people, it's like any other thing. You can interpret it the way that you like.
Do you ultimately aspire to narrative, like making films?
Well, I mean, it's weird. Like, you start one place, and I did start in film, and I would like to make films, and I would like to make television as well.
Okay.
But right now I'm just happy doing the paintings.
And where did you study art? Did you study art?
I did not study art. I went to school.
You said filmmaking and all that,
but it wasn't an art school. It was in Illinois. There was an art school there, and it was really cool. And shout out to everybody that went there. Glove Factory kind of set me on my way. Everybody that showed up the glove, I'm not going to shout out a whole long list of all the people who helped me out, but thank you. You put me on this path. But I did it by myself.
Do they call them glovers?
It was cool. I saw somebody beat a dead snake to death. My friend David Lohman, he beat
a dead snake to death.
And then like these like really,
as a performance,
these like the early version of Antifa, which was just like somebody who was on the Fish tour who decided to hang out in this college town, like fought him and like punched him in the nose.
Fish, Phish, the stoner band.
They would end up in my little town of Carbondale, Illinois, which is heaven and hell on earth.
That's where the eclipse had its maximum.
It is, man. Yeah. I thought that was funny because I wasn't there to see it, and Carbondale taught me a lot. It taught me about people. It was a microcosm, and it taught me like, if you can control a thing, you can rule it.
were you from Carbondale?
Nah, I'm from Chicago, man. I'm from the city.
Where are you from? Cubs or White Sox?
White Sox, South Side.
All right.
I went to Cubs games when I was a kid, and I hated every minute. I knew my grandfather was in heaven, like looking down at me, like
not happy. Like, you get over. Okay.
Like he was like, go back to the South
Side. So 2005, AJ Pierzynski, no problems with him cheating.
I mean, like Chicago. I mean, the White Sox won the World Series, and it was like nobody in Chicago cared. Cubs won the World Series,
it's an international
Chicago
event.
almost exploded. It's on every media outlet. The White Sox win. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they cheated back in 1919 or something.
1919, the Black Sox. Okay,
it was like the Black Sox.
Yeah.
Even though to say black, it was racist at the time. It's like why back like third base, like the gas face. White guys wear white, bad guys wear black. Must have been the white guys started all that. You remember that? The gas face?
The gas?
The gas face.
Nope.
It was weird because it was two white rappers talking about like how black people get shafted, and that was like the first like allied theater that I'm privy to.
So you grew up in Chicago. Carbondale's outside though.
Carbondale is actually 5 hours south of Chicago, in a really beautiful place. It's also it's on your way to Little Egypt. So there's all these wonderful rock formations. There's the confluence of the rivers, the Mississippi, the Big Muddy, the Paducah. I don't know if the Paducah is a river. But there was like where the mound builders were. The mound builders were there.
We're talking ancient Native Americans.
Exactly. So there's like Cahokia is in Illinois, St. Louis. Borderline.
Did you pick up some of the woo-woo off that?
No, but I found it really amazing that I'm in this place with all this, ancient history like of America, because when the settlers came, they leveled a lot of those mountains to bring cattle, which are not indigenous to this place, and so it's crazy. I mean, I have so many things that I want to talk about in the work, and I was just telling somebody yesterday that I don't think I'll be able to do this within my lifetime.
Your aspirations of everything that you want to accomplish.
The sheer scope of it are just gonna.
What are we looking at here?
Oh wow! Oh man, this is funny because this is my galleries in San Francisco. This is Andres Guerrero from Guerrero Gallery, and some of the homies in the top. And so this is just basically I forgot the titles. Like the titles escape because my titles are like paragraphs long. So this was basically for this show that I just did in Memphis, the Memphis University of Memphis, and I just did it earlier this year. So this is actually quite recent, but I think it's gone now. I think
the show's gone.
The show's long gone.
Because I will tell you, I got every image we're using of yours on Artsy.
On Artsy, yeah.
So they're all for sale. And not through me or anything. I mean, these are legit dealers.
Wait, they're gonna. These are for sale.
Everything that I'm
showing is for sale.
Was on Artsy, yeah.
Man, so I can get like good Christmas.
I'm thinking.
Hey, buy all this stuff right now. I got 2 children and a wife.
Folks, everything you're looking at is for sale. There's a price to everything.
Cashmere costs money. Organic food.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm like, ooh. Man, I was
Whole Foods or Trader Joe's?
Yeah, depends. I love Trader Joe's.
You love Trader, but
Whole Foods has very few things that I really, truly enjoy.
What's your favorite thing at Whole Foods?
The cat food.
But that's not for you though, right?
No, but it's for my cat.
Your cat prefers.
That's the only man I hold weight for. That is my favorite being in the universe.
Your cat prefers Whole Foods.
If the whole world died,
doesn't matter as long as that cat's all right.
If my cat, my Otto the first is still alive, and this sucks. Sorry kids, sorry wife, sorry mom and dad, sorry cousins and uncles, nieces, whatever. But if my cat died, I mean, all y'all could just take a fireball from wherever it's coming from.
So Trader Joe's has lousy cat food.
Trader Joe's it stinks. It's like the taurine balance in it. Like it smells like cat piss.
Ooh.
The cat food in the green can smells like cat piss. Like it smells like when my cat pisses on something. And so, but they got this thing called Deckhand at Trader Joe's. Whole Foods is really expensive, but it's like real tuna chunks. Like if the same nuclear holocaust took everybody except for my cat and I would be able to eat that shit with them. We'd be able to enjoy a meal. Like I can start a fire.
Whole Foods cat food.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like real tuna. It's like shit with a little micro shrimp. When you order like shrimp fried rice and they got the dry shrimp when they reconstitute it. Yeah, it's amazing.
What are we looking at here?
Oh man, this is the top part of the Harlem Stele. And so this is kind of when I changed what I was doing for a while, because I felt like people had grown accustomed to me doing the same kind of portraiture, and I wanted to do like stuff out of my sketchbook, so basically I wanted to make something that was in my sketchbook, and so I created this whole what is it? Narrative, pictographic narrative.
This looks much more Egyptian, hieroglyphic flatness.
So it's super flat, but there's so much information in it. And then because this particular show, when I did this work, and this is for my new gallery, Johannes Vogt, and in New York, and I didn't get a chance to really write a narrative down. So I was like, well, instead of writing the narrative down, I'm going to write the narrative on the painting. And both of these are gone. This one is gone. I don't know. This is in like Switzerland somewhere, and then the other one is in a luxury condo in New York.
Well, if you're going to be in a condo in New York, you better be in a luxury one.
Yeah, it was like a luxury condo. I was like, man, I can't even afford to spit in here.
So this is work basically on paper, right? Just simple water.
No, this is actually canvas.
It's on canvas?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, it's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. It's a big old guy. But I like them throwing the brick in that guy's face, like the Hottentot Venus, like it's just like throwing the brick in his face.
Oh yeah.
And then the Dutch, because this is also the Harlem Stele. The Dutch invented. Well,
Harlem is named after a place in Holland.
Well, all of New York. Bushwick is Bushwick. What is
New York? There's a York in England.
Yeah.
The old version.
No, New York. It was New Amsterdam at first.
Old New York was once New Amsterdam.
Yeah, it was New Amsterdam at first, and then even like Brooklyn. Brooklyn is still a city in the Netherlands.
In the Netherlands.
Even Flatbush is Vlakke Bos, like Bos is woods, so it's flat woods.
Wow.
Yeah. So all of New York is pretty much Dutch. Wall Street. I mean, Dutch. They were getting money.
Let's see what else we got here.
I love.
Yeah, these. Speaking of Harlem.
So here's the map, and that's when everything is there. Like Brooklyn, the old way, the Duchy of Boswick, Queens.
And you've mentioned you've renamed New Jersey New Jerusalem.
Oh, New Jerusalem. So every time, like you got to do some rap shit, Okay. So it's like in the '90s when I came up, I'm old.
We're old. This is two old guys talking.
So it's basically New Jerusalem is New Jersey in kind of like a 5%er hip hop lingo.
Oh, okay.
Because I think like Brooklyn was like Medina, and it's all these different places.
So you're making a really subtle rap reference.
Oh yeah, but I can get away with it because it's you just put it in within the style. And Charybdis, New Charybdis is on the left side. I did the Hudson River Museum was called the American Proteus. So there's a lot of Greek, also ancient Greek references, ancient Egyptian, ancient Greek, Roman, Parthian. Babylonian, Sumerian, a lot of different references.
Is this painting on wood?
This is a drawing on wood.
A drawing on wood, ink drawing.
Ink drawing on wood.
And what year?
This was also this year. Most of the stuff, and Novum Eboracum is Latin for New York. York in Latin, when the Romans ruled Britannia, York, the city of York was called Eboracum.
Eboracum?
Eboracum.
Eboracum?
Eboracum.
Okay.
See, I'm too smart for this shit, man.
Oh, man. Oh, no.
No, but I got so many ideas. Like, I'll go crazy one day. You see me running around town naked, that it's just...
Well, people just think you're in the Roman Olympics. Let's see what else. Oh, here we go. This is a zoom in of the Alta California piece.
Yes, so this
I zoomed in on
this. My favorite maps, because I finally managed to bring my fictional empire to LA.
The West Coast.
The West Coast.
Like it made it out here.
And that's, I made it out here, and this has been my adopted home. I moved here in 2000, and so it's been my adopted home for a very long time. And I love it. I've traveled up and down. I haven't been past San Francisco. No, I have been past San Francisco, but like about 2 minutes. Like,
it's
Berkeley.
Pretty dull.
No, I got some friends who live in like Mendocino. Well, they said Mendocino, Fort Bragg.
Pretty dull.
Really?
You're not missing much.
But I got like Abalone and like I like Santa Barbara minus the Santa Barbarians.
The boring part of Santa Barbara.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
Architecture is really cool. Actually, it's not. There's some people from Santa Barbara who are pretty cool. Eric Belt's a really good friend of mine. He lives there and teaches there. That's why
You've done more shout-outs on one appearance on Modern Art Blitz than all of our guests combined in our almost 3-year history.
Man, that's the last 6 minutes of our segment. We're gonna
just do shout out.
Peace to Herb Ice and Bullet. Peace to Tiny. RIP. Bullet. RIP.
So this is new work, right?
This is from the show that I did here with Marcia at New Image.
Okay.
So I did this whole show. It was like kind of my comeback show because I had done a show that was curated by, it was at Subliminal Projects.
Okay.
And see, you just jinxed me, man. I had everybody's name.
You had everybody's name.
Shout out. And now if they see this, they're going to be like, man, why you diss me like that? But anyway, I did a show at
Blame me.
Blame Matt Gleason. Always. Now, you're great, bro. Love you, man. So the shout outs, this show happened last year around this time. I think I believe it was in October. And so I just wanted to do a map of California, and this really brought me back into the fold because I'm prone to depression from time to time. Like, and when I run out of ideas, when I think that my ideas aren't really like happening, I have to, like, I just go into like a kind of a dark space.
Do
like
the work.
Steve Gutenberg in Cocoon. Like the alien in the cocoon, like get in it. Like,
do the work to get out of that
Oh
place.
no, but I don't do anything that has I don't do anything that I feel has no meaning. I would rather just like sit there and vegetate, or be in a vegetative state and watch television.
And eat cat food.
No, I don't eat cat food.
You could eat cat food.
You could eat that.
Maybe it cures depression.
And I shouted that place out too. So man, we should get some sponsorship.
We need some sponsor. I want to get Whole Foods, Amazon to sponsor this show.
Because I don't know if anybody's really buying that except for me, man.
Yeah,
it's like
there's
$6
always
a can.
okay.
Yeah.
$6 a can.
Yeah, $7 a can.
Man, you got one happy pussy.
Cat
Hey,
food,
so let's. What are we looking at here?
Oh wow, man! Now this is the zoom in.
I zoomed in on a drawing. Yes.
So Mississippi is what the Mississippi River is named after in Choctaw, in the Choctaw language. So this was for the Memphis show, and going to Memphis was incredibly strange.
Really?
I was like, man, I'm in America, but I only see black people in servile roles.
Oh.
And it was
the South is still the South.
Yeah, I was like, God, like, come on. No, but it was like, I've been to the South, and that was
as South as it gets?
But it was a bit much.
Like, 1863, 1849?
Yeah, but, but it was like every like fancy place we went to, it was like, it was like black servants. And it was like, kind of reminded me when I was in Cape Town. Like, Cape Town was slightly similar. Like, you didn't see a lot of black people in the city center, but you go outside and you see all the, you see black people. I mean, I just love to see black people, I love to see my people wherever they are, but not in submissive roles. Yeah, like,
I mean,
look
at the calendar.
I mean, I'm not saying people in Memphis just like Cowtown and, dancing jigs and, spit shine shoes, but I was like, man, what the? So anyway, so I'm there, and I'm sorry, Memphis, no disrespect to you. It's a great town. Because I went to the other side too, got a whole bunch of stuff that I really enjoy. You always got
to dig that.
Yeah, you always got to do that. Well, but anyway, so this is Mississippi. So basically, this is a series of tiles that I made. And so since this area is called Little Egypt, I wanted to do, I took the motif from an Egyptian painting. It was a duck hunt. So there's the solar boat there with Mississippi on there. There's a crocodile, which represents the Egyptian god used to be of war, Sobek. Did you watch Lost, the television show?
Nope.
You don't watch television much, do you?
No. Sports.
Oh, you like sports? A Libra likes sports.
A Libra likes sports. You're a Libra. I'm a Libra. We like sports. We both sides. You got to have a little bit of everything.
I like more the pugilistic sports, like the blood sports, like boxing, MMA, or
who's your all-time favorite boxer?
Or a Jai, like you can die in that too.
Oh, Hailai is amazing.
Is Hailai?
Hailai, yeah.
Man, what's the etymology of that word?
Hailai. I assume it was Mayan, but
yeah, the ball court game.
Yeah, the ball court game. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Where you can just like die.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You
got
to bet on him. Oh, hey, well, I got the signal. We're almost out of time.
Oh, okay. So
Frohawk Twofeathers.
Man.
Thanks for joining me on Modern Art Blitz.
I am sorry.
We can do a whole episode of you just shouting out to everybody.
Yo, real quick, I want to shout out Matt Gleason, man.
Jeez, not that guy.
Territorial, man. God is the illest dude in Chinatown right now.
It's all about the checkerboard.
Big up, Matt Gleason.
We'll be back right after this.
Come on.